Voynich Manuscript Book Mystery. Dear family, my kind request, I have very less subscribers now, and please subscribe to my channel and motivate me, thank you. It is true how many strange meanings are hidden in an ancient word. Everything in this world that reminds us of strange ideas and mysterious stories can be linked to you in one word called our antiquity, because every ancient thing that can be in this world is known to other religions. There is a thing in it, a book that can be called the Voynich Manuscript. The only difference that can be with every mysterious thing is that human understanding is very lacking in it. References: this book is well placed for today's archaeologists to major academics, and its research is worth exploring. Such references have found a place in this book and they are surprised, and if you say it is very mysterious, the surprising thing is that this book was written almost 500 years ago. From today's technology to scholars, how could people 500 years ago have written references to books that are so incomprehensible that even today there is still a mystery about this book among all of us? You say that, so full of lamentation and mystery, what kind of writings are there in this book? What kind of writings are in it? What is the reason why the scholars are still struggling to find out? How did this book come to us? He buys it from a dealer and there is no name in the bookport like that. He observes if there is a book that is not torn. He opens this book and sees what language is written in it. He has no idea what language he has seen so far. All the books that he has seen in unknown languages know what language, but in this one book he does not even know what language is written in it. His first doubt starts from there. He doesn't understand why there are such scenes in this book. Maps and visual systems of races that have never existed in this world are drawn on each page. Why is this drawn? You can only know if you read what is written there, but there is a question in what language it is written. Every day he comes down with many new things in this book is burning, so he knew what was the most important thing in a few things, so every word that could be written in this book was written from the left side to the right side. That is to say, in general, every letter we can write goes from right to left, but in this book, it came from left to right, so perhaps the Arabian Road is written, he thinks. He observes that a few words correspond to Arabic words. But even if it agrees, there is no word that can be associated with that word in any way, so he concludes that it is not an Arabic word. Looking at the small pictures and the structures in front of the words that may have been written, he predicts that it may have been made in Italy, but even that he cannot say for sure. From 1912 to 1930. He spent his previous life researching the things that could be in this book, but the sad thing is that he died in 1930 while researching this book. Even when he died, he had this book in his hand. He had been researching this book for so long, and even the government of that country came to know after his death. He and his wife told the government about the book that was being researched by him and donated this book to the government. Since there is no onyx manuscript, I wrote his name in front of him. What is the name of this book? Researchers say it is Cortex Aptin. Archaeologists, many technical scholars and bibliographers who may be in the government for a while are doing research on this book. In your research, one thing has come to light, that this book may have been written in the 15th century. They say that not only that, but the language that could have been written in it does not belong to our world. They predict that, not only that, but the language that can be written in it does not belong to our world. What was the language of the people of this world in the 15th century? What kind of form did it have? Looking at it in that way, a word that could be written in it is a word that has nothing to do with our world. Scholars say that, how many years archaeologists have been researching, they cannot predict what is written in this book, but scholars are finding theories and mythological topics in each of the maps that may be drawn in this book. Cosmology, botany, physics, medicine, food, more to say, many theoretical things are also included in this. They say that this is all told by our scholars, but archaeologists tell a story from the side of this book. Thousands of years before this book, there was a merchant living in Afghanistan, which is Uchi-Pratistan, and that merchant's name was Amirth's work. He went to every country and did business in every country he went to, and he used to get used to the people who might be there, and he has been shouting with them the language and science with them, botany, medicine, food, customs, and even culture. At a certain point, when there is a situation where he has to die, he has told it all to the next generation, but when the problem comes, even his generation has opportunities. He decided to write all the things that he shouted in a book, and he came and kept in mind that the book should not be understood by anyone other than his family, and he started writing all the languages of the world that he shouted. Now, knowing all the languages of this world, the only penalty is that while reading this book, he has shouted all kinds of herbs to his family, so only they can come and read this. That's why today's scholars are researching this book. We know that the reason why we are not able to read the contents of this book completely is that we do not know more than half of the language. Even if we bring together a person who knows all the languages, there are proverbs that have disappeared and no one knows that language. Archaeologists are telling us a story like this, but what is this story that can change it so much that it is not believable? So if we use our technology to examine this book, and then it is said that it was written 500 years ago, then it is said that Circa Amirdan wrote it 1,000 years ago. In that case, how is the age of this book that can be told by technology correct? Is there an error in the story told by us archaeologists, or is there an error in our technology? That's the biggest debate we can have today. We are talking about this book, but we know only one thing for sure: this book contains proverbs that have been destroyed, and at the same time, it contains words that can be used in our world in the current situation. But where does the problem come from? He lived 1,000 years ago. But the age of this book is only 500 years. What is the reason for our technology to tell us that this reduction? All our scholars are scratching their heads. Maybe this book has been translated, and what do we have in it? If we come to know what kind of information that can be in it will be useful to us, when we see it, we can know very well about many herbal trees and rules that may not be found in this world, whether related to botany. Moreover, we can learn about many types of culture. We can develop in the field of medicine. In astronomical research, we can learn many facts that we still do not know. What was before in this world? Not now. What was before, we all can understand well now, although it is a thing that can be told by technology. People on the other side, this book does not belong to this world, because many types of images that can be displayed in it have nothing to do with our world. Every language that can be found in this book, the reason each letter is so different is because it is a language written by extraterrestrials, and they say it is written in their own language. The reason is that this is a language written by extraterrestrials. They wrote it in their language. They say that maybe this is a book that was missed by them when they came to our world. but this book is consistent with the words that can be used in our current situation. If you ask them, they say another theory, culture when man was an animal. One thing that we all have is a question of who knows what. There is a mysterious story about this, the Pteridis. We had a habit with extraterrestrials, and through them we got our many types of culture, weapons production, fire making, and the right to all the knowledge we need at the initial stage. A good example of this is from the pyramid that could have been built in Egypt to their culture. How is it possible if there is a construction civilization with the right to so much knowledge in a period of no technological development? Surely it is only because of the aliens that we are screaming. This book is a book created by them. Because the small words available correspond to the words that can be used in each country, the sound of those words is created by a computer anchor, and that computer molecule reads the words that can be in this book and creates a system that reads it, but even then, it is not possible to understand the meaning of the words that are in it, even to this day. Why is this book, no matter how many billions of years it may be? Scholars have decided to add that we can't even read and understand the first page. The only thing we know from this is that the mystery of this book will continue on a never-ending journey. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.